This episode is brought to you by O2, the official recovery drink of the Noble CrossFit Games. For more information, you can use the QR code or you can click the link in the show notes below.
Bonjour à tous, mon nom c'est Jeffrey Adler, je suis avec ma copine et coach Caroline Lambré. On vous souhaite la bienvenue sur le podcast Best Hour of the Day avec Jason Ackerman. On jase un petit peu des semis, on sort des semis en préparation pour les Games. Alors, j'espère que vous allez apprécier le podcast.
Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez
and me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the Best Hour of Your Day.
Welcome back, the CrossFit Power Couple, Jeff Adler, Caroline Lambrey. You guys are the official power couple now. How does that feel?
Weren't we before?
No, Shane.
Oh,
No. I'm still gonna hand that to Shane and
then we
Tia.
aren't. Sorry.
That's true. I mean, it's hard to say they're not, but you guys are fast approaching. You guys are, and you could truly both be at the same time.
I kind of have to win 5 times to match, so we got a lot of work to do.
You got a lot of work to do. Jeff, I feel like since this past weekend, you've become a little bit of a meme. Do you agree with that?
Friday or Saturday wasn't your best. You crushed it, as you just mentioned, here on Sunday. What was the difference? What did you tell yourself last night to today?
I want to win. I won.
Yeah, that famous quote. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah, it was like all over. It was great. I loved it. What were you thinking? Anything, or do they just put the mic in front of your face and you're just like, I've just competed for 3 days. Like, I don't know what I'm about to say.
A little bit of all of that, but what I said was true is in a way, because it just came out weirdly, because it was like, I just won and it's the first time I've won anything. And then I won anything live. So, but I truly, like, for the whole Sunday in my head, it was on repeat. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. And then, like, I knew what I had to do to win. And then when I said it, it's like, I want to win. That's what I was repeating myself for the whole day. So when he asked the question, that's what I answered, because that's was on repeat for the whole day. And then after that, it's like, well, and I won. Like, it was just like, it just came out weird, but whatever.
I don't think many people will ever have that feeling of saying something like that to themselves and then actually realizing that.
Yeah, I think that was what, like, startled me a little bit.
Was it just like a feeling of like disbelief that it happened? A feeling of satisfaction, relief?
I don't know, because, like, coming into that competition, I wanted to win. That's why, like, I actually had that last year at Semi. I knew I was going against Pat. It was online, but the goal was for me to win the semifinals. I wanted to win the semifinals, and I didn't. I got second last year. So this year coming in, I was like, well, now it's live. I'm going against Pat again. Like, I want to win. That was the goal. And I think for me, it's kind of a statement, like, to be able to beat Pat in a live competition. So that's why, like, for the whole day, like, I knew I was trailing behind a few points and that Pat wouldn't make it easy for me to win. So that's why I was just repeating myself, like, I want to win. Like, but then if you want to win, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go fast and try to win. Like, I'm going to try. But so that's why, like, I'm happy I won, but I wasn't that surprised. I'm actually more surprised that I won both events on Sunday. I think I'm more surprised of that than the overall win.
Why do you say that?
What are the chances that I win 2 events on the Sunday? Like, it can't be more perfect than that. And that's what happened. So yeah, I was very happy with that.
So we're just we're just 2 days out. How does your body feel 48 hours removed?
Honestly, it was fine. Like a bit sore from the lunges, but not as much as I thought I would. Honestly, like I thought the lunges would get my butt, my legs sore. And the next day I was like, well, it's not so bad. And I mean, on the Saturday, we didn't have the biggest day. We had the 30 muscle ups, the 25 burpees, and the 15 snatches, which is a 7-minute workout. And I mean, 30 muscle ups is a big chunk, but it's not the biggest volume overall. And the lift, and I mean, for me, the lift, it won't make me sore. Like it's, I don't know. It's different for everybody, but the lift, and I mean, I didn't go heavy enough that I had to really, really push it. So going into Sunday, like I was okay. The workout that wrecked us the most, I think, is the chipper, the event 5. After that, I was tired.
Just tired, but you don't wake up like feeling it the next day.
Not as much. No, a little bit. I mean, yes, like intensity was super high. And as soon as you put a lot of intensity in a workout, the workout will make you sore a little bit. But I just thought it would be so much worse, and it wasn't. So maybe that was also like, I thought it would be so worse that what I had was like, oh, well, this is fine. It's manageable. Yeah.
Caroline, what can you program for him that would make him sore? Like if you're like, my only goal is to make him sore, but realistic, like not hours and hours, like CrossFit style workout, what would you put together for Jeff?
Kipping pull-ups.
Like standard kipping, no butterfly allowed?
Butterfly is not going to make you sore. Kipping pull-ups
will. Depends. If you go above 200, yes.
Well, that's what he said, but he's saying about volume. So if I'm not going for volume, he can handle a lot. So I can definitely like program a 45-minute AMRAP of just like insane amount of work.
I don't think it's a specific movement that'll make me sore, but in the right setting, will make me sore. For example, like, I don't know, you're going to do 5 by 15 GHDs. That's 75 reps, but you're going to do them really fast. Like you're going to sprint those GHDs. I will be sore. 100% sure. And I think it's the same thing with any movement. Like
even light hang power cleans with like very minimal rest, like your traps are going to be sore because you're shrugging. It's a lightweight. Like there's things like that if you're trying to target specific muscles or specific adaptation, you just need to reduce the rest time. Make sure they're going fast but I'm not trying intensity.
But honestly, I'm not sore often. It happens and it's fine, but I'm more tired than sore. I'll be like, let's say the worst for me is the long engine pieces. They'll make me like very tired and sluggish, but I won't get sore from it. I don't know. Everybody's different, I guess.
No, it's interesting. So I was texting Caroline. You've now won Bitcoin and an NFT.
Yeah, I actually don't have the Bitcoins.
You sold it?
Well, we didn't set it up in time. So if you didn't set it up like pre-competition, they just gave you everything.
Oh, okay. They gave it to you in money though? You got money for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good news for you because Bitcoin's getting demolished right now. But what is, I saw you holding up kind of like a little case, if you will, but well, you have it there, but what do you get with the NFT?
Well, right now, nothing, because it's not set up. I know that Alexis, he told me after the competition, he wanted to set it up with us so that we have the NFT, I don't know how it works, but that we have access to the NFT or whatever. But we do have the little plaque, which is nice. And I'm happy that there's something physical, because if there would have been nothing physical, I would have been disappointed. But we do have something, so it's all good. It's different. It's different for sure.
Well, I was telling Caroline, I bet you there's a crazy CrossFit fan out there that will pay big money for your NFT.
Right now, no. Maybe in 10, 15, 20 years, we'll see.
Do you know, is it on like OpenSea? Have you tried it? Have you researched this enough?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, when you're ready, I got a guy that'll explain it to you because I've gotten a little bit into it, but the goal of NFTs is typically there's like utility involved. You have access to, so maybe with this NFT, you'll have access to a future competition or whatever that looks like. But CrossFit fans, someone's willing to pay you $10,000 for that. I promise you. There's a rich CrossFitter out there that wants to own that first place NFT. So, we're about 6 weeks out from the games.
Yep.
What's going on with the two of you? How do you guys, is this a high stress period on the relationship, or is this a period of like we can chill and then we get going again?
I honestly think that the most stressful period is the one leading up to semis, because that's where, so every time you get to a stage of the competition that may end your season is always very stressful. There is no guarantee of me moving on to the next stage, and I'll never take that for granted. So going to semis, which is the most important one, that's a stressful time. Am I fit enough? How fit are the others? How's my fitness gonna compare to others? Like who's like Nick Joyal that won the first two events? I was like, oh shit, where's that coming from? First of all, second of all, I got third and fourth. I'm like, what am I doing? Like I've been training a full year and that's what I get. So it's like those kind of stressful things. I think right now is like this next week is like, oh, I qualified. I'm going to the games. No one can take that spot away from me. And like, we're going. And then once we get into training, we get serious. And then we'll start stressing out like a week or 2 weeks before the games.
When you say we start stressing out, is that both of you or you're stressing out?
I'm already stressed.
Are you stressed, Caroline?
Not right now. Like he said, like after like the competition and everything was so stressful and like leading up to it. And, you're always going to have doubts. And like he said, we don't take anything for granted. Like as fit as I think he is, you can't control certain things. So it's like, okay, we need to prove it on the floor. And once it's done, great. So right now that stress has fallen and I'm just going to enjoy that. And then once I start programming and doing all of the lead up to the games, I'll probably start stressing again.
Are there any concerns traveling this year?
The U.S. just removed the PCR test for taking the plane. So you just have to.
You don't even have to do anything?
You have to be vaccinated to go to the States.
And that's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Because you said you were going to Florida.
Yeah,
I'm going this week. It was never an issue to travel for Canadians. Honestly, like the only thing that was really more stressful was the test that you had to take how many hours before the flight. But other than that, wearing a mask in the plane, well, I'll do it. I'm fine with that. Like, it doesn't matter. So,
and you don't have to do that anymore even.
It's not everywhere.
Yeah, we're not sure if it's the airplanes, the countries.
I'll still carry some with me just in case. I might even wear it just to be cautious myself. Like, I don't want to get sick before the games. Like, that'd be stupid. So
when you go into the States tomorrow, is that until the games or is that just for
7 days? Just
for fun. Just no training this week?
I will be training lightly. I don't know. She's going to decide for me, I guess.
So if
I would go back into training, but I think it's not the right thing to do.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you finish the Atlas Games, you win, it's Sunday night. And if Caroline's like, hey, tomorrow we're back at it, you're like, okay? Or is there any time where because you're in a relationship, there's pushback on training?
No.
Never?
No.
Caroline, do you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Particular workouts or like sometimes, like especially leading up to the Atlas, he was like, more question like, oh, is this too much volume or not enough? Or I want to do a little bit more of this. And that's just like personal preference of I want to feel weights. Like I want to back squat because I want to feel some heavy weights. Or I want to do this because I want to make sure and the programming came out later a little bit for Atlas than everybody else. So it was like, well, we still don't know what's happening. So we needed to make sure that certain things were still like happening and to see how he was feeling. But that's the nitty gritty. Like if I would have said, okay, we're training today, he would have been like, oh, okay. But also like, it's a competition. I don't know how his body's going to feel. So it's not like he's coming out of Atlas and I have a whole sheet of workouts and things like that, because I don't know how it's going to go, how his body's going to react, like physically, neurologically, like all these things. So kind of playing it by ear a little bit. You still need to decompress after a competition. Like it is still a high stress. Like we think of the body, but just for the CNS, like it's stressful, and it's also a lot of demand on your brain. So it's like, okay, let's give it a little bit of time and then ramp back up.
You're finally getting some love out there too, though. I saw an article. Yeah. You know, one of 2 female coaches, right? Does that feel good after all these years? You've been really hard at work, kind of quietly hustling. Jeff been crushing it, and now a little bit of light shine there. How does that make you feel?
It's nice. It's not something that I think should have to be mentioned. But at the same time, like I'm competitive. That's what I was kind of saying in the article. Like I'm competitive too. Like he's competing for the podium. Like the accolades are going to transfer over type of thing. So yes, for me, it's a goal. I want him to do well. I want him to podium. And I know what Michelle has accomplished. I know what Pat has accomplished. I know what other coaches have accomplished. Like I'm also competing with Shane because now Tia's won 5. Like it's not just like, oh, I'm competing Michelle because she's a female coach. Like let's say we got to the 5th year, I'm saying we're going for 6 because I want to beat Shane. Like I know Tia's most likely, knock on wood, Tia's winning this year, so it's 6. Now we need to go for 7. But like I'm also going to want to compete and do the best that I can as a coach, whether that's with Jeff or potentially another athlete down the road. Eventually.
Not going to be me.
He's like 7. What? Yep. That's new information.
That's not happening.
Are you willing to take on more?
I don't think I can. I'm too old now.
How old are you now?
I'm 28. But 7 would bring me to 35.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, hearing someone say they're old at 28 is amusing.
I think, but all athletes are old in their 20s technically. So
yeah, to the old, like the oldest, like I'm between like the old and the youngs. But nowadays, like the top guys are 23, 22 to 24. I'm already 28. I haven't won the games yet. Like we're going to have to make it work in the next 2 years, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. The people are peaking earlier. If you guys could now take what you know and go back to the beginning, what would you do differently?
Everything.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you learn through years, and you learn through training, you learn through coaching, you learn through mistakes, and the less mistakes you make, the better. Like
the faster you can get there. Maybe
I could have gotten to the games a year early, or maybe I could have been top 5 more than once, or like, who knows? Like it's impossible to say, oh, it would have been this or it would have been that. But I think that what we know now, if we would have applied 3 years ago, I would have had a different path for sure.
Caroline, can you pinpoint any specific areas that you would have done something differently in his training?
I think weightlifting and swimming. Because he's strong. Yeah, for the weightlifting, but just having like a specific, and like not coaching by me, because I've coached everything basically. Which, thank you, Bergner. He's given me some great insight, but like, I'm not an Olympic weightlifting coach. So I've done the best that I can, and he looks decent, but what if he would have started off differently? And then I think swimming would have like just earlier. Cause especially like at the games, if you're trying to make it to that point, then let's prepare for that point. And I think that we were preparing for the next stage, but not particularly for the games, and the games are a completely different beast. And that's where like shifting the programming a little bit to make sure that once we got there, we were already ready. So being a little bit more proactive as opposed to like, okay, now we know we can clear that hurdle. Now let's attack the next one. It's like, no, I need to plan for the last hurdle and making sure I'm jumping all the other ones at the same time.
And do you have the plan in place leading up to this year's games?
Yeah. Well, after the games last year, I already had the games for this year. And we already started
And is there any concern knowing the leadership has changed and the programming has changed, ownership to Boz, on what you'll be doing? Or are you under the assumption it's business as usual in Madison?
No, it's not going to be business as usual, but I think it's going to be better.
What do you mean by that?
So just no lakes. Just that's one thing.
That's because of the E. coli situation, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get everybody to the games and try to not get them sick on the first day and see what happens. And I think cuts, minimal cuts last year was just okay. But this year, just maybe one cut, maybe zero.
Yeah.
Give everybody an equal and fair chance through the whole weekend. And then for programming, I mean, Boz was there with Castro before. He knew the workouts before. They've been programming together for so many years. I don't think we're going to see that much of a change. We will see the pattern.
The style is going to be different. People
that program is always you can see if you see a mayhem workout, it's a mayhem workout, but I don't think it's going to be that different, but we'll see. I'm excited. It should be fun.
You guys have your affiliate, but as an athlete, does anything going on from HQ influence or affect you guys? For an affiliate level, it's very different, but then when it comes to competing, does it matter, or is it just I don't care, I'm here training?
Hey guys, Fern here, Best Hour. Real quick, if you want to build a fantastic affiliate like Cal Harbor, if you want to have the affiliate of your dreams, you have to learn how to build a really great team. What's one of the biggest improvements that you've seen over the past year?
At the box, dedication of my coaches, invested. Caring to make themselves just better at what they do. I see the coaches just invested in themselves.
It's hard. You got to put systems in place. It's one of affiliate owners' biggest struggles. If that's something you're struggling with, reach out. We can help you guys. This can and should be fun. CrossFit's amazing. You can make it amazing for you and your team.
I really don't care.
I mean, I'm still managing the gym. So for example,
I don't.
Yeah.
That's
he's got NFT money. He's got NFT money, yeah, Caroline. He doesn't need
to. For example, and that's the thing, because he's actually quarterfinals is for the top 10%. Great. But having the coaches or the athletes who make it to quarters versus him making it to quarters is a different type of de gestion, of coordinating, of planning. And so quarterfinals, making it Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific time to Friday, the cuts that you need to put in the scores. I have classes, there's not that many people doing quarters, you're adding a layer, and then I need to plan him in between classes because most of the affiliate is not necessarily doing it or wants to do it or whatever. And that, yes, it does impact the affiliate, and it impacts the affiliates who want to participate, who are doing this season as far as they can go along. So there's things like that, yes, I think there could be a little bit more, I don't know, it could be done differently.
When you do the quarters, you do them at the box?
Yep.
And so do you manipulate the schedule at all to accommodate that?
Not this year.
I don't think we had to this year.
So I tried to do the workouts in between classes as much as I could.
But the gym is growing. So next year, if I need to add classes, now what do I? Because it's 12 Pacific, which was 3 for us. In our first class, well, we were lucky on Thursday, the first class was at 5. But by next year, I know we're going to have a class at potentially 4. So now I only have 45 minutes because he needs to warm up. We need to film. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then he's not training at 6 a.m., which is great. I have a 6 a.m. class, But like same thing, if the class runs until 9, then that's still, and we have a lunchtime class, and I understand why the cut lines are there, but at the same time, I don't think it's beneficial for the athletes who have a job. Like for him, it's, I mean, we can squeeze him in and figure something out. But for people that have jobs, I still have like a regular class schedule and all these things. Like it's a little bit of logistics.
A lot to manage.
Yeah. It's not impossible. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it's just, is this like for them, they're doing the 5 workouts in 24 hours anyway. So I don't see what the cut lines are for. And for everybody else, you're just, I feel, adding a level of stress and planning that doesn't necessarily need to be there if you're just doing it for fun. Make sure you video yourself. Make sure you read everything. Make sure you're doing stuff properly. And then we're good.
Speaking of the affiliate, Canada got hit very hard. Is your affiliate doing well? You said you're going to add some classes. Things are coming back? Oh, yeah. We reopened because we were closed a little bit before Christmas in Quebec, because every province decides all the COVID rules. And we reopened February 10th or 12th. So we were closed for almost 2 months. And people are coming back. You've seen a big influx in membership? People came back quicker because we weren't shut down as long. Like the first one was about 3 months. The second one was 6 months. That took, because now you're breaking people's patterns and just like routines, right? It's hard to get back on that's what we do. We get people consistent and into routines. So that one was hard. The third one wasn't as hard. Like people were just like, okay, we're over it. Like I want to get back into the gym. It's good. And every time, people are more aware of their health and their fitness and the importance of moving. So things are going well. I see you're wearing a Whoop, Caroline. Are you, Jeff? Whose strain is higher on competition days? Is it true? Really? I get like a 14-point strain coaching. Like I get excited. Like this is probably going to give me like an activity because I'm talking and I'm excited. I don't know. There's something. We should talk about your fitness, Caroline. What's going on there? You're talking, you're getting a high strain. Yeah. How high does yours get on competition day, Jeff?
I don't know. I haven't watched my Whoop in 2 months.
So the follow-up question is that why are you wearing it then? Oh, because Caroline looks at it?
Let me explain. I work out 7 hours a day. I die a little bit every time. And I get a 14 strain at the end of the day. And then she goes and coaches 2 hours.
I walk to the gym.
She walks to the gym and she finishes the day with 18 plus strain. I'm like, what the heck? Like, and it pisses me off because I'm competitive. I want to win.
I think lower is winning.
Yeah, but
yes, but
counterintuitive. Like the number is smaller, so I'm losing.
You would not do well at golf, Jeff. You would do really bad at golf.
It just pisses me off. So at some point I'm like, well, I am not watching it anymore. I still wear it so that I have the data.
We have the data on the sleep and like recovery and this and that,
but then
programming.
So even this weekend, like I know I had one red this weekend because I had a notification. They gave me a notification like recover from your red recovery. Oh, thanks. Yeah, nice. But I don't want to know. Like I just don't want to know.
It's a double-edged sword because you don't want it to be dictating what you're doing. Like, are you actually feeling bad, or you're like Whoop is in the red, but you can still go train and things like that. Like for me, the Whoop is more about if you're trying to implement changes. For example, what time are you eating your last meal? Track that for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and see if it makes a difference in your recovery and your sleep. But the actual score of am I in the green, the yellow, the red, you don't want to let that dictate unless you're like, oh yeah, I'm in the red and I never listened to it. And then like that streak is on for like days on end. Okay, maybe you need to change something. But for someone like him who's already on a very tight schedule, super consistent, yeah, you're going to hit a red because yeah, you had a really hard training day. So you're going to dip, but do I really need to adapt your training? And we've been wearing it for a while. And it's like, well, you have the red because you had a big day, but I don't need to adjust so much unless he's actually telling me like, okay, I feel tired. I feel this, or I'm a little bit more sore. Okay, we'll adjust, but it's not Whoop. It's him. It's his insight, not the watch telling like the Whoop telling us like, you're in the red.
But it's just another metric, another data point that you're using.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as this is big news. You're going to make the games again, but coming off of a win. Relationship, communication. I've been talking a lot with box owners, with coaches about coaching their significant other. Clearly, you guys are doing something right. So what are some of the things you are doing right to not only be improving from an athletic perspective, but also your relationship?
You go.
I mean, communication is definitely key. We're both very direct with each other. We don't get frazzled or anything. And then I think trust. And what, the experience over the years, like what we're doing is working. So, he wasn't as bought in 5 years ago. Like that's the other thing too. Like it's something that you build over time. And let's say for me as a coach, if I had his level of cooperation 5 years ago, and I don't know if that's something that you've noticed, that wasn't the case, but that was okay. Cause I also recognize that if we're going to have that coaching athlete relationship, that trust is going to build over time. And I need to give him the time to learn to trust me. It's frustrating because I want it now, but want and expectation are two different things. Like I can't expect it to happen overnight. And I think that's something that we have built over time. And obviously like the more success he sees, the more trust I'm going to get. So it's like, we need to find those areas where I can make him shine and make sure that we keep going towards that goal. And then communication, like making sure, so that's another thing too, that I learned, I think, especially in the last 2 years, the goals that I had or the landmarks that I had in terms of how I was viewing his progress and how I was measuring his success and making sure that we were hitting certain PRs or certain things were not landmarks that were important to him or that were validating that his fitness was improving. And that's something that I wish I would have known at the beginning, because yes, I would have programmed differently. The questions, like how he would have organized things would have been different. And I think listening and understanding more what he wants and what he needs in order to feel and execute the way he wants to is something that, we needed to build all of that in order to get there. So
winning the Atlas Games gives you more trust now, Jeff.
Programming what? Maybe yes. Like the answer is yes.
The answer is
but
yes or no question.
It's not what it's gonna. Winning Atlas gives me now. Now I know what I truly can do, and like how I think has now changed, and we'll see if that works at the games, because like semis, rogues, there's 6-7 event 3-day competitions. The games is totally different. The pressure is not the same. The
levels,
the field is much deeper at the games. Like it's the top fives of everywhere. So it's harder. It is harder, but hopefully like how I felt, how I was able to compose, like do the workout, perform, and how I was thinking through, if I can do that at the games, who knows what's going to happen. It's a big game changer on that side of my performance, my athletic performance. Programming wise, I think it gives us an idea of what we were doing. Is it good? What should we be doing more? What we should be doing less? And every time we do that, we get even more specific and even more precise. And the more precise we can get, then I think once we get there, and what we need to work is so precise. And if you work on it really good, then the performance that comes with it's even greater. Like it's weird. It's like, it's small things, but they make
1%.
But it's such an improvement. Like it's interesting. Now I think this past year and a half to 2 years max is like where the fun really starts. Cause like doing a bunch of training to qualify for let's say quarters, semis, or sanctionals or regionals, it's one thing, but trying to like get to the top of the games is very different training. It's very different. We've learned so much by trying to get there. So that's what's fun, I think.
What do you two do for fun outside of CrossFit?
I was going to say CrossFit.
Right now, not much. We're very simple people. Just going to grab a coffee at a local coffee shop is something that we like to do. Sometimes I don't like to walk sometimes, but I mean,
I like to walk.
We just take walks around.
Why do you not like to walk? Because you're afraid it's going to impact your training?
No, it's just hard. Walking is hard. It sucks. Like when walking has no goal, it's just like, why? Like, I don't know. It's not relaxing.
It's not an activity he enjoys. It's an activity joy.
But
I just head out and go for like 2-hour walks all the time. I get you. You that's how you get a high strain. You go for a walk.
Yeah.
That'll shoot that's how you win the strain competition right there, Jeff. You got to walk more.
Like after a training day, going for a 2-hour walk is like very painful.
Yeah, I could see that.
But you so those are the other things, like, because I don't know, people want to know about the relationship, and like legitimately like 98% of it is CrossFit. Like we eat, sleep, and drink CrossFit. Like that's all it is. But the other 2%, like he comes and walks with me now, because like he knows that that's important, and like, okay, let's go grab a coffee. Like at least we have a destination, we have a purpose. Like that, I'll give him a purpose. He'll come and walk with me. It'll only be half an hour. Like we've figured those little things out. It was also different, like Montreal setting versus when we were at his parents in Florida. Like, we're not doing jet ski in the St. Lawrence River. Like, no, we could, but we're not. So it's just like the activities and what we can do here is a little bit different. We just kind of need to take advantage of this city and going outside the city and doing a little bit more. Cause like, yeah, we can get stuck in a routine and it can become boring. And then you get not spiteful, but just like, we've tried to make sure that we're still doing the little things to make each other happy and make ourselves happy.
So are you concerned? Jeff retires from CrossFit and you're like, we've got nothing in common. What are we going to do for the next 50 years of our lives? What happened? I don't like walking. You like, what are we going to do?
I'll maybe start enjoying it. And at that point, I'll be a little bit older. My knees will be broken, and like walking will be like my activity of the day. But I don't know. I haven't been thinking of post competition life yet, because I think if I start thinking about it, it's because it's coming. I want to give myself the best chance possible to get as far in the sport. And once we get to that decision, then I'll figure out something we want to do. I mean, we have the affiliate. Do we want to open a second one? Do we want to open something?
Another business, something.
I think we both like that business part, like to start something new.
Coffee shop?
I don't know. We'll see. Like it could be
anything.
We can do whatever we want. So
like who knows what's going to come up in like 20 years, right? What's the next TikTok, something, whatever, the new technology, the new needs, new services. Like I don't plan that far in the future in that sense, because like how is life going to be in 30 years? I know I want to live to 100, so he needs to tag along. So I'll definitely make sure that we're both healthy, and that stresses him out.
Yeah.
But in terms of project and stuff, like we make each other happy. Like that's all. CrossFit or no CrossFit, like I don't think that's where we spend the most time, I guess, like the most of our energy right now, because those are our goals and that's how our life is aligning, but that's not why we're together.
Sounds like every other couple on the planet. We all have separate goals. We got goals together. You guys are doing it well. This is the year we see Jeff on top of the podium at the CrossFit Games.
You don't want to jinx it.
No.
You don't want to jinx it? Is that a thing? All right. Well,
I'm going to do my best.
I mean, the goal for every athlete is to do the best that they can. and to be on the podium, to win. Like, I think that's legitimate for athletes to say that. Also to recognize, like, do you actually have the fitness? Would you like, they're still dependent on the programming, you know, like there's still those variables. And now, yes, like there's going to be a change because it's not the same person. So, you know, will we make it? Is it our goal? Yes, I think we can say that because that's everyone's goal. We've made it to the games. Now the next thing is to, you know, be as high up on the leaderboard as we can.
Love it. I love it. Well, you're on your way. You're on your way. You've done, this is about as good a start to the season as we can hope for, right? You're first place at the Atlas Games, heading to Madison in about 6 weeks. And I look forward to seeing you both there. And if you need any NFT or Bitcoin help, you can Thank you. I got you. You are very welcome. And again, it's really awesome to see you guys have such great success. When I see you guys do well, it just gets me happy and excited. And I'm really proud and excited to see what happens this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.